very, very enjoyed because now will speak Joshua Entis from Seattle. Now, thank you very much.
I just wanted to quickly say thank you all for being here. It's truly an honor to be standing here today with all of you as one loud voice for the animals. So thank you. My name is Joshua Entis, and I'm an animal rights activist from Seattle, Washington in the United States. I'm here today to talk about animal liberation and why I believe that it is not only necessary, but it is our duty to stand up, fight for, and protect the innocent. All over the world, animals are being systematically bred, enslaved, tortured, and then killed every second of every single day. And why? Because the majority of people, they still value taste. They still like the way animals feel, the way animals look, and the way animals entertain us. And that's it. It's not because we need to, it's because we allow convenience, taste, and conditioning to mislead and to confuse our moral compass. For 24 years of my life, I was someone that supported these industries. I directly paid money to support animal cruelty until I realized that animals are not here for us, they are here with us. And remember, everyone, we are all animals, and every single animal deserves to feel love, compassion, respect, freedom, and justice. You're all amazing, thank you. We all have the capacity to love. We have the capacity to feel pain, to extend empathy. You know, we have the capacity to feel emotions, and we have the capacity to share positivity with others. So if we have all of this within us, then once again, it should be our duty to stand up and to widen our circle of compassion to include all beings. A majority of the EU's live transport and export are of cows in the dairy industry, most of which that are being transported to the Middle East. That means these cows are being bred here, impregnated, packed into containers, put on trucks, put on ships, and then sent far away to other countries, only to be unloaded and sent to farms or slaughterhouses to endure more pain and more suffering. A cow's natural lifespan is up to 20 years, but sadly in the dairy industry, for a female, that's anywhere from 4 to 6 years. For a male, that's a few weeks to a year and a half. I want to share with you all a story of a dairy farm that I visited when I was in the Middle East. This experience changed my life. About 4 months ago, I entered the farm, and it was probably one of the most memorable experiences that I've had. It was almost scary because we went into this place and it was all in the desert, and there were these four to six big structures that contained anywhere from 100 to 200 mother cows. And so first, the 3 people that I were with, we walked through the different structures, and I saw some of the cows would come up and they would stick their head through the gates, either searching for food, searching for love, searching for affection. And it, you know, as sad as it was, it made me feel good because I was there to extend that love to them. Some of the other cows were standing or they were huddling close together. They were scared, and they were all standing or laying down in anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of their own urine and fecal matter. And to see these beautiful beings standing in their own filth, it truly saddened me, and it's an image I'll never forget. They looked helpless, to be honest, and for an animal to have dealt with so much pain and so much suffering from human beings, they still trusted us. They knew we were there to help them, and we were doing whatever we could to make their voices heard. Thank you. So after walking around the outside of the dairy farm, we were out there for about an hour. We went into the milking parlor. And for those of you that don't know, this is the place where the cows are brought in, and this is where they are hooked up to machines, and they have their fluids drained from them. So we walked into this parlor, and it was the smallest, most cramped, most smelly, humid, disgusting room I've ever been in. A small house with a little walkway so that I can walk through, and the workers, and on each side there was an aisle where they brought 5 cows on each side, and as they got to their own spot where the machines were, A worker would come up and connect 4 suction cups to each of their udders. And then the sound began, and this sound I can hear over and over. It was loud. It was this machine literally sucking the fluid from the cow's udders. And I thought to myself, this fluid that is meant for baby cows, humans create a demand for, which means this is why this is happening. It's because of us. And I was someone who supported that. So I had to leave that room. I could only be in there for 10 minutes. It was very difficult to be in there and to see these cows walking through, because once they had taken enough fluid, they would be walked out, and then more cows would be walked in. And it happened all day until the workers would go home. And also, for those of you that don't know, like all other mammals, cows produce milk when they are pregnant, and they produce milk for their children. They do not just produce milk, and they do not produce milk for humans. In fact, we're the only species on the face of this planet that willingly drinks another species' milk. It's true.
Not your mom, not your milk. Not your mom, not your milk.
And sadly, this was an experience that took 24 years for me to realize, but I'm happy I'm here today, obviously speaking on this side of justice. You know, and so we left the milking parlor, and then I thought to myself, if all this milk is going to humans, where are their children? So that's when we started to go to where the calves were. And as we were approaching this area, I heard the cries, I heard the screams, and I didn't want to enter. But we walked in, and I saw tiny little crates, 4 feet by 6 feet, housing one individual baby cow. And they were crying and they were screaming for their mothers. Because on this particular dairy farm, they're taken away from their mothers on the day they are born. And so they obviously want their mothers. So I went up to as many of the crates as I could. I got down on my knees and I pet them and I extended as much love as I could. But sadly, all they could do was cry and suck on my fingers. And the reason why they do this is because naturally they're meant to want to suck on their mother's udders to get their food. So I couldn't take this much longer, so I went and walked around the part where the babies were, and I saw cupboards filled with antibiotics and syringes and formula to supplement the food and tools that I had no clue what they were used for. So this was about the time that I had to leave the farm. It was too much for me to handle, but I had gotten enough footage and photos because I wanted to share that with the world. So I'm not usually one to tell sad stories or to bring up negativity, but this is what I experienced. This is the truth, and this is what the world needs to know. It doesn't just happen in the dairy industry. It happens in every single industry that we exploit animals. There are animals all around the world being enslaved, being tortured, being mistreated, being tested on, and being killed only because we pay for it to happen. It's simple economics. If there is a demand, there is a supply. If there is a supply, animals will suffer and they will die. I know this is a lot to take in, but there is a positive. It doesn't have to be this way. We do not have to eat animals. We do not have to use them. We do not have to wear them. We don't have to test on them. And we don't have to pay any industry to exploit them in any way. We can be the change. We can be the people that break free from the conditioning. We can be the people that choose a life of compassion instead of oppression. And we can be people that choose to become vegan and start aligning our lifestyles and our diet choices and every choice that we have in our life with our core values and beliefs. And to all of you out there, if there are any of you that still consume, use, wear, or support any industries that are exploiting animals, I hope and ask you, please look deep within your heart to find the compassion that I already know is there, to extend that to all beings. You are here for a reason, and whatever reason that may be, you care. So I hope that my words and the energy felt here really encourage and inspire you to create change from within. Thank you. And to all of my vegan activists out there, seriously, you inspire me daily. You motivate me, you encourage me, and you are one loud voice, a voice to be reckoned with. You speak the truth, you never turn away, and you are always shining a light on their darkness. So for that, I am forever grateful. And lastly, I could talk about the vegan activists out here forever, but lastly, I just want to say that today we aren't just here to stand up for the innocent animals being transported around the world. We are here to stand up for every single animal that is being exploited today. Together, we will achieve total animal liberation, and together we will change the world. So thank you. And let's get a little bit louder because you all are